You gotta do the one you screwed up first. Make sure that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Loud. All right.
In progress.
It is 3:30, so I will start the meeting. Welcome to you guys. It is the August 9th Selectmen Board meeting, and we always start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. We have the minutes from the last meeting, which was July 12th, the only meeting we had in July. Any comments, questions?
No, I think it was fine.
John?
Good.
All right. I will take a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes of July 12th.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Two. Sign here, pen, put it away.
Sign the papers, old man.
Yeah. So, our first agenda item is Friends of the Library office space. So, we received a request because the Friends of the Library are using some storage space in the Gray's Inn garage to add electricity there. I personally, we can discuss this and I'll give you my opinion first and we can hear the rest. I don't think it's a good idea to spend money and add that amount. It would have to be a brand new panel put into the garage because the old panel has been removed, and this is sort of a short-term fix for the library to be able to use that for storage for books, but I don't think it's going to be a permanent office space. So I just don't think it's a prudent thing to spend money to have electric put back in there. Frank, I know you had some thoughts also that you had submitted.
Everything you just said, I agree with 100%. I think that they're there temporarily, that they shouldn't do any improvements. I did speak to Jay Henry, who had used some space in there, and some of those folks down in the garage, and they said they had no plans for it anytime soon. So, status quo, I say let them stay in there, but don't do any improvements. No, you can't have lighting, and you gotta know that it's temporary.
Yeah.
So.
Thoughts, John?
I agree as well. I just think it's just taking money into that building, potential of having whatever the committee or the development guy who decides to do it.
Right.
I like to think any of the money I get put in there would be directed towards something long-term.
Yeah, and since I'm on that committee, I will take that recommendation too and say, is there anything that we're going to be considering for that building? So, anyone have questions or comments about that?
Is there a decision regarding the garage? And what time frame do we have for it? I mean,
The storage-wise, you can still keep everything there.
yeah,
As far as electricity, we're just not gonna add it, but we're not rushing you guys out of there.
understood. I'm talking about the whole building.
That's what we were talking about, the facilities committee that's working now for all of the facilities that are owned by the town. That may be part of some of the recommendations.
Sounds good.
Yes. And, we have these frequent meetings once a month, and we're trying to come up with some of the goals, and we'll be getting a survey out to all the town people, whether they be residents or taxpayers or both, to find out what some of the needs are of the town for all of the properties that we have, whether they be buildings or just properties. So it's a great consideration. All right. The next is North Country Council representative appointments. So there's a little confusion on this. We have at least 2 people that we can appoint, but possibly 3. There's a regional planning rep and liaison for the North Country Council Committee, and then there's also a transportation advisory council, which Jay is already a liaison for that council. So Emily has volunteered to be also a representative. So we're gonna leave it at that, and then if we have a 3rd representative, it's usually someone with planning board experience. or on the planning board. So we're gonna read over the documentation, make sure we've got everything right that we need to do. And the planning board actually is responsible for making the nominated, for residents being nominated through the planning board for the North Country Council, and then the Transportation Council is different. So that's on the agenda now, it'll be on the agenda for the next meeting, and we'll figure out the finals for that.
Can I just bring up one thing?
Of course.
Did we need a motion for that first one, A? Did we make the
I
decision?
think
that we
because we're
did?
not spending money,
Okay, all
but
right.
Julie, thoughts, do we need to make a motion not to spend any money?
If you're appointing, yes, if you're,
We're talking about the
No, we're
Friends of
talking about
Library.
the first one, Friends of Library.
No action taken.
to make a motion to not spend the money, no.
Okay, want to confirm. Okay, so for the North Country Council rep, we'll make appointments at the next meeting based on what we find when we read the fine print. So no motions on that one either, but we do have volunteers, so that's a good thing. C is that an FYI, Conway Household Hazardous Waste Day is on September 24th, which is a Saturday, and that we don't need volunteers or anything, but we just will be putting a flyer out, and it's at the Conway Transfer Station from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., Saturday, September 24th, and that's at 755 East Conway Road. So that will be in the minutes. We will probably send out an e-news, and it'll probably be posted in the library, or at the post office as well. So gather all your stuff.
You don't need to take latex paint. Some people think latex paint has to go.
Right. There's
It
a-
does not.
There's actually a whole list on here. Here's how to dispose of household chemicals, and it talks about collection day, recycle the transfer station, drain normally, or trash. And there's a whole checklist on there, so let's include those in the minutes. Julie, if you could make a note of that, and then we'll make sure that people have access to that information. But yeah, latex paint is actually just a trash item.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Would assume that you want to have an empty can.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
ways.
the rule
that
at the
you
transfer
can-
station, it can't be, it has to be solid.
Right, so you can put
Oh, yeah,
something in
okay,
it
so
to
like the-
solidify it.
Yeah,
right?
it
Yeah,
doesn't-
okay.
can't leak into the mechanism.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Well,
we'll
that's-
get that information out. If you want to take copies of it later, you can too.
Yeah, that would-
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. All righty, and number D, letter D, Conservation Commission bench donation. So we have a bench that's being donated to the Conservation Commission, and it's a replacement picnic table, actually. Not a bench, it's a picnic table that's being donated. So the old one that was there is not in great condition, so this will replace the one that's already there.
This is the
So-
falls.
I think it's
small.
Yes.
I think it's already been replaced.
Well, we're gonna make a motion to accept it.
Okay. All right.
Are there any
Go ahead.
questions or comments or anything before?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Ben Halcyon.
Thanks, Ben.
We were prepared to accept it, but our further reading of the RSAs, so we could accept it at the direction of the select board, or, well, I didn't say select board specifically, but we weren't allowed to unilaterally accept them, so in the interim of deciding that it was replaced, we took a vote to remove the damaged table because it was on the verge of breaking, so
Mhm.
we just felt it was, to be cautious, we need to remove it. And it was the lowest picnic table. In the long-term erosion control, it may not stay at that location just because that's the most exposed location that receives runoff from the road, from
Right.
the parking area. So we would like to focus on getting that area revegetated. So in our long-term plan that we discussed with the Save Jackson Falls Committee was as the picnic tables deteriorate, they could be replaced with benches that would have a lower impact on them and getting people to spend more time on the rocks and less time in the sensitive vegetation area.
Great. So you still are going to keep this one there, you're just going
For the
to
time
move
being,
it around as you decide what's the best spot?
We are planning a work day later in the fall, so for the time being, it will stay at that location, but that's not in the long-term plan.
And tell me again who donated the bench.
It was donated by Don Bilger.
Thank you. So I will take a motion to accept the gift of the picnic table.
Well, I'll make that motion, accept the gift of the picnic table. Great initiative. Thank you for putting the new one up there. And thank you, Don Bilger.
All right, I will second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for what you do at the falls too.
Appreciate it.
Has this year been any better with traffic? Foot traffic, I guess, I mean.
Our planting areas are doing well. We've been trying to block off social trails. Occasionally those barriers get moved around, but I think we're seeing a lot more directed traffic, so.
A little bit more respectful.
Yeah, and I think parking enforcement has certainly helped, so.
Yeah, good. It's amazing to drive by there some days and see the parking situation.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Ben, I appreciate, again, all you do up there. All right, the next is a liquor license request from Christmas Fireman. So this is a new request because there are new owners of the Christmas Fireman, and this was acknowledging Mark LaHood and LBC CFI LLC, doing business as the Christmas Fireman, as the new owners of this property located at 3 Blitzen Way, and this is to give them a liquor license so they can have their wonderful weddings, and all the tent walls will be closed, noise levels not exceeding 90 decibels in the center of the tent, and music stopping after 10:30. Motion to grant this liquor license?
I will make a motion to grant the liquor license extension to Christmas Fireman. New owners.
I'll gladly second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, that has been signed. All right, the next is our trustees of the trust funds funding and withdrawals. So the first is it's a total of $88,500 to be deposited into capital reserve funds and the expendable trust funds as follows. Fire Department Truck CRF 0003, Article 5 for $80,000. Reevaluate town property, Capital Reserve Fund 0004, Article 5 for $3,000, and then Fire Department Equipment, Expendable Trust Fund 0046, and Article 6 for $3,000. The ever-popular Balloon Groundwater ETF for 0071, Article 6 for $2,000. And then Town Office Equipment ETF 0047, Article 6 for $500, total of $88,500. Motion?
I will make a motion to pay those trust funds and describe.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
88.5.
Yep. And then we have withdrawals of $351.48 from the Bridge Repair Capital Reserve Fund 0034, and that is transaction number 2794639 for Lowe's, dated July 14th, 2022. And the second is for $1,125 from the Mark Hammer Police Department Fund 0073, invoice email dated 7/18/2022 for Dirigo Readiness Resources Group, and this is for 3 people to attend training. And that is through part of the trust. So I will take a motion to disperse the $1,125 and $351.48.
I'll make that motion to disperse those funds.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And then we have one more that I'm gonna, actually we'll cover the Barley Jackson ambulance first. So there was some discussion and some emails going back and forth about an incident that happened at Storyland, and so I've had a conversation with, we were trying to get a meeting set up. We had a lot of date problems, so we didn't have a meeting, but I did talk to Rick Murdoch, and we received an email from Jeff Courier and some communication, but I feel like it's been resolved enough that there's no motion that needs to be made. It was sort of some misunderstandings that happened at a call. Kevin, did you have any comments about that you think add value?
I did see the letter yesterday, and it was just, I think just that, we're in a rural area here, and we're not full-time, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things was why it took so long to get there, and, you gotta go down, get the ambulance, and then respond, and it's still pretty quick. And there was why they call it for paramedic. That's not the policy in 911, unless there's an actual heart attack happening.
Right.
So there's a lot of little things, but I think the two AMTs who were on duty did everything that the protocols call for, and the hospital actually sees the report after you're done, and they go over the reports, attendance reports. So if there's any issues, they would definitely bring it up too. So
Right.
So I think they did the right thing.
Thanks. I appreciate that, and we will be trying to schedule a Bartlett Jackson ambulance meeting for this quarter because we haven't had one in a little while, and then we'll start our budget process as well. But I think that the issue that was talked about as the response went has been handled, and it was handled the right way.
Good.
Any thoughts or comments?
No.
Okay. There's one more addition to the agenda. Last meeting, we talked about approving the fire department generator, and the ARPA funds have come in, so now we can actually make a motion to order the generator, and it's from Generator Connections. The final cost is $71,000, which is less than our $94,000 that we were getting from the ARPA funds, so the rest I think will be used for the library generator, if I'm not mistaken. But I will take a motion to place the order for the large generator for the fire station in the amount of $71,000.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And Julie, thanks for letting us know that the money is here. Yay. All
Excuse me,
right.
is
Yes.
this going to be coordinated with the library generator?
They're two separate generators, same company
Yeah.
installing them, but they'll be installed separately because I believe the library one's going to be installed pretty quickly because we were
Yes.
able to order that one. Yep, so we're not waiting on that one. I think there's actually some site work that's included in the quote that needs to be done for that one too. So, all right. There was a facilities committee meeting while I was gone. I haven't had a chance to read through the minutes and everything, but there is another meeting coming up on August 30th, but we will post that on e-news, and I will get more details on that so we can make sure everyone is aware of that meeting and some of the progress that we've been making. We're about to get a survey out to the town, like I said, and then we're also bringing on a moderator or a lead, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I guess moderator to.
Facilitator.
Facilitator, yes.
I couldn't, John.
I didn't, yeah, to help us stay focused, because it's a large committee. So, and thanks to Jen and Zaldi for running a couple meetings while I was gone. Any questions or comments before we move on to short-term rentals? We have a non-public meeting. All right, so for short-term rentals, we have no new permits and we have no violation notices that are new. So that's a good thing. We have one pending for Fig Pen at 18 Iron Mountain Road, and the short-term rental application was denied, and it's still pending?
No, I can comment on
Okay.
both of these. So 18 Iron Mountain Road, they're all set. I met with them, it's almost 2 weeks ago. I met with their caretaker, so they're all set there.
Okay,
And then 68 Juniper Way, they put 2 windows in, and they stated in their email, I guess, to the town that they were gonna rent 2 rooms instead of the 3 bedrooms,
Mhm.
which, I mean, that's fine. As
yeah,
long as they keep their advertisement that way.
and don't use that as a,
Yeah,
As a
right,
bedroom.
Yeah, and it's,
okay.
I mean,
It's good to see that they updated the windows
yeah,
there.
I got the 2 windows,
So
yeah,
that's
2
good.
windows in, and, yeah.
good. All right, so on the first one for 18 Iron Mountain Road for the Thigpens, I will take a motion to approve their short-term rental application.
I'll make that motion to approve their short-term rental application.
I will second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. And then on the 68 Juniper Way for the Kennedys, since they have remedied their situation with windows, I will take a motion to approve that short-term rental application.
I will make a motion to approve 68 Juniper Way as short-term rental.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on the third one, it is for the two short-term rentals, and they were operating without a permit. They sent a letter back to our attorney that they have stopped renting at one of the places because they never used it other than family and friends. And then they also, sorry, I'm gonna get my story straight here. They've stopped renting at one, and then they're just using the other one for family and friends. That was the 15 Adams Road. So they're removing all of their short-term rental activity, and there's no need for any short-term rental conditions permits. So we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that that's adhered to, but I appreciate that they responded to our attorney. So that is no longer pending. All right, no other complaints there. Kevin, you have lots of new building permits.
Yeah.
Anything interesting and exciting or out of the ordinary that you want to comment on?
No, I think they're all pretty straightforward. I mean, just a reference, like one says drywall and basement, but there's a lot more to it than just drywall. So, yeah, there's framing, wiring, plumbing, drywall.
Well, it's good they just didn't drywall over all that then.
Right. So, but no, they're all pretty straightforward.
Perfect. All right. Our upcoming meetings are Tuesday, August 23rd at 3:30, and that is going to have a Zoom option as well. And then the next meeting after that is Tuesday, September 26th, which is unbelievable. September 6th, because that's right after Labor Day, which means the summer is flying by. And we'll have a Zoom option for that as well, and that is at 3:30. That will be the second Tuesday. The third Tuesday will be, I'm sorry, that's actually the first Tuesday of the month, because the second Tuesday of the month is Election Day, so we'll all be having fun at the Whitney Center from 8 to 7. And then September 27th is our last Selectmen's meeting at 3:30. So, any public comments? Nope. All set then. I will take a motion to adjourn this, and we are going to go into a non-public for RSA 91-A:3 to B.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.